Am I crazy or is OnlyFans ruining the internet? Yo, the last few years have been a crazy ride, especially after COVID. And one thing I've noticed is the rise of OnlyFans. It's everywhere. Am I the only one who notices this? You know, people want to gaslight you and say, "Oh, it's your algorithm." But no, it can't possibly be my algorithm. You open a brand new Instagram account, the first thing you get in your search algorithm are OnlyFans girls. OnlyFans is everywhere. OnlyFans models have infiltrated every single niche, every single hobby that young men who are vulnerable occupy. I swear to God. I swear to God. They're everywhere. If you're into model cars, there's an OnlyFans model who's into model cars. If you're into anime, there's an OnlyFans model that's into anime who's using anime as a prop to lure you. If you're into cars, there's an OnlyFans model into cars, into planes, into chess, into checkers, into fucking trading cards. It doesn't matter what niche you're in. There's some girl on the internet making content directed towards you who just so happens to be scantily clothed and have an OnlyFans link for $3.99. It's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. You know, and I've said it. I have no problem. I've said this many times. I have no problem with OnlyFans girls, sex workers, advertising their product, if you want to call it that, in the appropriate spots on the internet. You know, if you want to advertise on a Craigslist or you want to advertise on a porn website or on a site where there's only adults, even a gambling website, I'll give you the pass and say you can do it on a gambling website. But shit, when you're in my freaking anime club, you're in my anime club wearing a bikini talking about, oh, and by the way, guys, don't check out my bio. That's crazy. It's inappropriate. It's horrible for society. It's ruining the internet. The internet is being ruined because everywhere I look, I see somebody trying to lure a young man, you know? And it's not only in the dating realms, right? It's not only in areas that pertain to sexuality. I'm talking about every niche. Niches that have nothing to do with sex. Chess, dominoes, stamp collection, watches, cars, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. You know, when I started to notice this problem more than anything was when I was single. When you're a single man, you know, or at least let me rephrase that. It's not that I noticed it more than anywhere else, is that it started bothering me more than anything else, right? Because it's one thing to go on Instagram and be doom scrolling and see a few OnlyFans thoughts on there shaking ass. That's one thing. But when you're actively seeking out a relationship or a mate, and you're on an app like Bumble or Hinge or Tinder, and you get a match, and you get excited thinking, oh man, I got a match. And then you start talking to the person, and it's a real person talking to you, by the way. They start leading you down a path, and at some point they break the ice and say, oh, and by the way, I don't know if you're interested, but I also make content. Here's the link. That's annoying. That's an annoying freaking experience. And it really started to bother me more than anything when that was happening. Because I was like, yo, I understand what you're trying to do. You can go get your bag, but this is not the appropriate spot. Same as Instagram, same as TikTok. This is not the appropriate spot for this. It's very, very, very predatory. Very predatory. You're out here trying to find lonely, and I wasn't even lonely. You know, that's the other crazy thing. I have always been able to get girls. I have a beautiful girlfriend now and child. I've had girls in the past, a decent amount. It's not that I was struggling, but it was still annoying. It was still annoying because, like, what are you doing in here? So now imagine if you're a guy who's actually vulnerable, actually lonely. You have no friends. You have no social safety net. You have nothing going for you, and you're getting bombarded day after day by all of these OnlyFans girls with their links. Oh, it's only $2.99. It's only $3.99. It's only $1.99. Imagine if you're not a lonely man, but you're a kid. You're a fucking 10-year-old boy, 11-year-old, 12-year-old boy, and you're on social media and you see a female content creator jumping on top of a Lamborghini because you're into cars, and then you click on her profile. And when you get to the profile, the very first thing you see in that profile in the description is a link. You're one click away from pornography, hardcore pornography. That's the world we live in, right? We live in a world where not even the children are safe. The children are no longer safe. I literally finished watching a video 10 minutes ago. This is why I even picked this topic to make a video on, about Camila Araujo. And people were getting on her because she went out with Neon. They went to a bowling alley, right? And they're just shooting the shit. Actually, it was an arcade. It might have had bowling there. I don't know. I thought I saw bowling in the background. They were at an arcade. And a literal 11-year-old boy, with his 10-year-old brother walk up to them and says, "Oh, aren't you the girl from Onlyfans?" Make that make sense. That shows you what target demographic is falling into this net. And we've allowed it. Platforms like TikTok, platforms like Instagram are completely complacent in the propagation of pornographic material to minors, right? If you're an 11-year-old boy and you're curious, you're going to find yourself in a world of problems unless your parents set some sort of parental control on your devices. And even so, you might still find yourself on some inappropriate website that's not labeled, categorized properly, because nowadays it's become so laxed that some websites aren't even categorized right? Not to mention there's other ways to access these things, VPNs and whatnot. You think that an 11-year-old, a 12-year-old who has access to the internet doesn't know how to work a VPN? If you think that, don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself. So not even the kids are safe anymore. Instagram has literally become a sales funnel for OnlyFans and adult material. Think about that for a second. Are we okay with that? Am I the only person on the internet who's not okay with this? With the sexualization of the youth? I remember when I was a teenager, you couldn't even post a photo of a girl in bikini on Instagram. Literally. I remember having friends that were females that posted a photo of themselves in a bikini and they got a temporary ban and they were complaining about it. And nowadays I go on Instagram and I literally see buttholes and titties on a daily basis. And nobody says a word. Nobody does anything. Those accounts are the most popular accounts on the profile, on the platform. Make that make sense. So we're not even talking about obscure content creators that nobody knows. No, we're talking about the biggest content creators on the platform. The biggest content creators on the platform are the ones creating this adult content. And nobody's stopping them. It's gotten to the point where women who make content that is not sexualized get buried in the algorithm so deep that you'll never find them. You'll never know that they exist. And the women who are out here sexualizing themselves become the prime, biggest platform content creators available. We've gotten to the point where young girls who are under the age of 18, I'm talking about 17-year-olds, I'm talking about 16-year-olds, are growing their follower count up and insinuating that when they become 18, they're going to drop that link. Oh, guys, I might be dropping a link in a few months. Oh, keep an eye out for that link. That's how sick our society has become. Our society has become so degenerate that you got underage girls talking about, I'm about to drop a link in 3 months. And does anybody do anything about it? No. Do they get banned? No. Are there consequences? No. We've told the youth in this country, in the West, that sexualizing yourself, selling yourself for $3.99 is success. That you're a celebrity. that you've made it. We said become popular at any cost. It doesn't matter. We're living in literal dystopia and we don't realize it. Nobody's blowing the whistle. And when somebody blows the whistle, everybody points the finger at that person and says, this person is misogynist. This person is sexist. This person is trying to control what women do with their bodies. But then again, are we? Because the problem is not even, the problem is, it's like the chicken and the egg. Who's causing the problem? There's supply and demand. The men want to see explicit content, or at least they've been conditioned to want to see it. And the women are supplying that demand. And the few people that call it out are the people that get pointed out and said, oh, this person is regressive. This person, he's an extreme conservative. He's trying to control what we can see, what we can access. I don't know what to say about this, chat. I literally don't know what to say about this, guys. Dude, I don't know what to say. I don't know what else I can add to this conversation. Are we too far gone? Can we reel this back? Can we pull this back in? Or is it just, we should just have a free-for-all? Because at this point, the way I see it, in 10 more years, that's what we're going to have. We're going to have a free-for-all. We're going to have a world where people post whatever they want. You can be buck naked on Instagram. You know, look at TikTok. Look at Twitter. Actually, Twitter is a better example than TikTok. Look at Twitter. Look what gets posted on Twitter. Twitter is a cesspool. Twitter, I don't even want to include Twitter in this conversation because Twitter is too far gone. Twitter is not a gateway to pornography. Twitter is not a funnel to pornography. Twitter is just a porn site at this point. Is that the world we want? Do we want Instagram to be the next Twitter? This shit has my chest tight. I'm not even gonna lie. This topic has me gasping for oxygen because you guys know, for the people who are subscribed to the channel, I have a daughter, newborn daughter, and it just has me thinking, what's gonna be happening in 2037? Where are we gonna be at in 2037? What are the platforms gonna be promoting? What influence is going to be out there? What's going to be normal? Because you all know how this works. Every generation, what was extreme for that generation prior to them is now normal. We're going down a rabbit hole. When does that rabbit hole end? What does it end with? Where does it end? How does it end? Why is it acceptable for women? And I hate to bring this back to women because men are also part of the problem, but let me focus on this part for a second. Why is it that women can sexualize themselves to the 8th degree on the internet? They can say the most crazy sexual perverse things. They can have sex toys visible in their videos with no repercussions. They can literally promote extreme goonerism to a young audience with no repercussions. Camila Araujo is a perfect example of this. She literally makes TikToks and Instagram reels that are literally targeting a demographic of, I'm going to say 10 to 15-year-olds. Same with Jack Doherty. But for some reason, when Jack Doherty does it, everybody fucking points the finger and says, look at this disgusting human being. But when she does it, nobody says shit. You'll have the outlying person, the one or two guys that are like, ah, that's disgusting. But for the most part, nobody does anything. Nobody says anything. She literally has her 12-year-old brother on her not even podcast, making clips for a fake podcast that doesn't exist, with her sitting there with her coochie wide open in the air, promoting her OnlyFans. Is it pink? Is it pink? How is that appropriate? How does that not get you permanently banned? Somebody make this make sense, because I'm about to lose my mind. I got to end the video, guys. I had to get this off my chest, but now my chest is mad tight. My chest is mad tight because this shit is crazy. What world do we live in? We need to have a come back to God moment in this country. And I don't even believe in God. When you got atheists out here saying that we need to have a comeback to God moment, you know we're cooked. Anyways, let me know if you agree with me in the comments. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. I stream every single day at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. I gotta go relax.